Have you noticed something about Social Security advice? Ask 5 different people when you should claim your benefits, and chances are at least 4 of them will give you the exact same answer. Wait. Wait until full retirement age. Better yet, wait until age 70. The longer you wait, the bigger your monthly check will be. Simple. End of discussion. But here's what almost nobody tells you. A bigger monthly check doesn't automatically mean you've made the best financial decision. Retirement isn't a competition to see who can collect the largest Social Security payment. It's about creating the retirement that works best for your life. And sometimes, that means claiming earlier. Now, before anyone rushes to the comments, let's clear something up. This isn't a video telling everyone to claim Social Security at 62. For some people, waiting absolutely makes sense. But for others, claiming at 62 can be one of the smartest retirement decisions they ever make. The problem is that many people never hear the other side of the conversation. So today, let's look at 7 situations where claiming at 62 could actually work in your favor. The first one is probably the most obvious, yet it's also the one people feel guilty talking about. Reason number 1, you need the income. Retirement looks wonderful in advertisements. Happy couples walking barefoot on the beach, weekend trips in a shiny RV, golf every Tuesday, dinner with friends every Friday night. Real life isn't always like that. Sometimes retirement arrives with rising grocery bills, higher insurance premiums, medical expenses, a roof that suddenly needs replacing, and maybe your investment account has had a rough year. If you're sitting at home wondering how you're going to cover your monthly expenses, delaying Social Security simply because someone told you it's the best strategy may not make sense. Think about it this way. Imagine you're standing in your kitchen, incredibly thirsty. There's a glass of water sitting right in front of you, but someone says, "Don't drink it yet. If you wait several hours, I'll give you a bigger glass." That sounds fine, unless you're thirsty now. Money works the same way. If claiming Social Security at 62 helps you pay your bills without piling up credit card debt or draining your emergency savings, that may be the better decision for your situation. Sometimes the best financial strategy isn't the one that looks perfect on paper, it's the one that helps you sleep at night. Reason number 2, your health matters more than statistics. We all love statistics, the average life expectancy, the average retirement, the average American. But here's the problem. None of us are average. You know your health better than anyone else. Maybe you've spent years dealing with a chronic illness. Maybe you've had multiple surgeries. Maybe your family has a history of serious medical conditions. Or maybe you've simply reached a point where you value enjoying life today more than maximizing a benefit decades from now. No one knows exactly how long they'll live. That's true for everyone. But your own health should absolutely be part of the conversation. Imagine spending 8 years delaying benefits to receive a larger monthly payment, only to discover you never had the opportunity to enjoy those larger checks. It's an uncomfortable thought, but retirement planning sometimes requires asking uncomfortable questions. This isn't about expecting the worst. It's about making decisions that fit your reality instead of someone else's. That's why the best Social Security strategy isn't always the one that produces the biggest monthly benefit. It's the one that makes the most sense for the life you're actually living. Reason number 3, you want to enjoy retirement while you're still young enough. Let's be honest for a moment. Most people don't spend 40 years working just so they can finally retire and continue worrying about every dollar they spend. Retirement is supposed to be enjoyed. Maybe you've dreamed of driving across the country, visiting all 50 states, taking your grandchildren to Disney World, learning photography, buying that fishing boat you've been talking about for 20 years. Here's the question. Will those experiences mean more to you at 62 or at 82? For many people, the early years of retirement are the healthiest years. You're more active. You have more energy. Travel is easier. Long walks don't leave your knees complaining for 3 days afterward. That's not true for everyone, but it's true for many retirees. Claiming earlier may allow some people to enjoy experiences while they're physically able to enjoy them. After all, money is only valuable if it helps you build the life you've imagined. A larger check 20 years from now isn't automatically better if it means missing opportunities that mattered most today. Reason number 4, you want to protect your retirement savings. Here's something many retirees overlook. Every year you delay claiming Social Security, the money for your living expenses has to come from somewhere else. Maybe it's your 401k, your IRA, your brokerage account, or simply cash you've spent decades saving. There's nothing wrong with using your retirement savings. That's exactly what they're for. But if claiming Social Security at 62 allows you to withdraw less from your investment accounts during the early years of retirement, it could help preserve those savings. Think of it like owning 2 buckets of water during a long hike. If you keep drinking from only one bucket while refusing to touch the other, eventually that first bucket starts getting dangerously low. Sometimes using both buckets makes far more sense. The same idea can apply to retirement income. Instead of relying entirely on your savings while waiting years to claim Social Security, some retirees decide they'd rather use both sources of income together. It's not automatically the right choice, but it's certainly a strategy worth considering. Because retirement isn't about following someone else's rulebook. It's about building a plan that gives you confidence every single month. And there are still 3 more reasons that often get overlooked, especially by people who assume waiting is always the smartest financial move. Reason number 5. You've already stopped working. Here's a question that doesn't get asked often enough. Why are you waiting? Seriously, what's the reason? Sometimes people delay claiming Social Security simply because they've been told it's the smart thing to do. But if you've already retired, your paycheck has stopped, and you don't have another source of income replacing it, waiting may not automatically be the best choice. Picture someone who retires at 62. Every month for years, they're withdrawing money from their retirement accounts to cover groceries, utility bills, gas, property taxes, and healthcare expenses while purposely leaving their Social Security untouched. That can absolutely make sense for some people, but not everyone. For someone else, claiming Social Security earlier might reduce the amount they need to withdraw from their savings each month. That could leave more money invested for future years. The important thing is understanding why you're waiting. If your decision is based on a well-thought-out retirement plan, that's one thing. If it's based on, well, that's what everybody told me to do, it may be worth taking a closer look. Retirement shouldn't run on autopilot. The decisions you make deserve a little more thought than repeating advice you heard at a neighborhood barbecue. Reason number 6, peace of mind has value. Here's something financial calculators never measure: how well you sleep at night. Retirement isn't lived inside a spreadsheet. It's lived in real homes with real people. It's waking up in the morning without constantly wondering whether your savings will last. It's being able to replace the water heater when it breaks without feeling like your entire retirement plan has fallen apart. For some retirees, receiving a guaranteed Social Security check every month provides something that's difficult to put a price on: confidence. Imagine 2 retirees with exactly the same amount of savings. One decides to delay benefits and spends the next several years anxiously watching their investment account balance shrink as they pay for everyday expenses. The other claims at 62 and uses that monthly benefit to reduce the amount they're taking from their retirement savings. Neither strategy is automatically better, but one person sleeps better because they know another check is arriving next month. That emotional benefit matters. Money isn't only about maximizing returns, it's also about reducing stress. After spending decades working, many people discover that financial confidence is worth almost as much as financial growth. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with building a retirement plan that helps you worry a little less. Reason number 7, there is no perfect claiming age. If there's one thing I hope you remember from this video, it's this: the biggest Social Security mistake isn't claiming at 62, it isn't waiting until full retirement age, and it isn't waiting until 70. The biggest mistake is believing there's one perfect age that works for everyone. Think about how different retirement can look from one household to another. One person has a pension, another doesn't. One person has a paid-off home, another is still making mortgage payments. One couple has significant retirement savings, another depends heavily on Social Security. Some people plan to spend retirement traveling the country. Others are perfectly happy tending a garden in the backyard. How could one claiming age possibly be perfect for all of those people? It can't. That's why personal finance is called personal. Your retirement plan should reflect your health, your savings, your family, your goals, and the lifestyle you want to create, not someone else's. That's also why comparing yourself to friends can be misleading. Your neighbor may have made the perfect decision for their retirement. That doesn't automatically make it the right decision for yours. The smartest retirees don't ask, "What age is everyone else claiming?" They ask, "What choice makes the most sense for my situation?" That's a much better question. If you've watched this far, you might be wondering, so, should I claim at 62? Maybe, maybe not. That's the honest answer. The goal of this video wasn't to convince you that 62 is always the right choice. It was to remind you that waiting isn't always the right choice either. There are situations where delaying benefits can provide tremendous long-term value. There are also situations where claiming earlier can help protect your savings, reduce financial stress, support the retirement lifestyle you've worked so hard to build, or simply fit your overall financial plan better. The key is making the decision with your eyes open, and not because a television personality told you to wait, not because your brother-in-law insists everyone should claim early, and not because you've heard the same advice repeated so many times that it started sounding like a rule. Retirement isn't about following slogans. It's about understanding your options, because once you understand why you're making a decision, you'll have far more confidence living with it. At the end of the day, Social Security is just one piece of your retirement puzzle. Your savings matter, your health matters, your spouse matters, your goals matter, and perhaps most importantly, the life you want to live matters. So before you decide when to claim your benefits, don't ask yourself one simple question like, how can I get the biggest monthly check? Ask yourself a better one. Which decision gives me the retirement I've been working toward all these years? The answer to that question is often worth far more than a bigger number on a monthly payment. If you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe for more practical retirement insights designed to help you make informed decisions, avoid costly mistakes, and get the most from the retirement you've spent a lifetime building. Because the best retirement strategies aren't always the most popular ones, they're the ones that fit your life.